Jude, he said he did a winner. Honorable Jude, Honorable Jude, he said he did a knockout.
Every political dispensation brings forth an exceptional man who bestrides the political landscape like a colossus. This political dispensation in Edo State is no different, as Honorable Jude Ise Idehe is that exceptional man. From his comfortable base in America, he looked back home and wondered why the living conditions of both worlds were so far apart. He then decided that the time had come to make a change in the lives of his people. So he returned home with a brand new kind of politics predicated on putting the people first.
Well, I used to live in America, and I had this feeling that things were not going well in my local government or in the state. So I felt, I need to get involved in the way things were managed in the system. So you cannot change the system from the outside. You have to be involved from the inside. And besides, my grandfather was a senator in the First Republic. So all those, and my uncle also ran for governor in this state. And it's been a long history in our family of politics.
Contrary to expectations, he joined the opposition party. Not many expected him to succeed, but Honorable Jude Ise Idehe felt he had a different political ideology to propagate, and the Action Congress at that time offered the right platform.
Well, everybody believed that you must join the ruling party to be established, but I felt I had something new, something different from the established body. I was coming from a different background, and I felt I had something to sell, a different idea, a different view from what was on ground already. That's why I chose a different party. And it was AC at that time, and it was they had a different policy, different manifesto from what the PDP were offering the people. We had a very different view from what the PDP had on ground when I came in. So I felt AC was more closer to what I believed in than the PDP. It wasn't easy at all because, the way politics is done in the United States is different from the way things were done in Nigeria. Because, the democracy in America is over 100 years old, and Nigeria, we were just starting, it's just a few years. So it's a very different system. But by hard work, dedication, and by the grace of God, I was able to break into the system and get elected.
This journey to change was by no means an easy task. The political gladiators at that time were bent on maintaining the status quo. But like the dogged fighter that he is, he had to employ a different strategy to win the hearts of his people.
Well, when I came into the system, there was nothing like campaign or, working and trying to, it was always the leaders are spoken, and it was something they used to write in their bedroom or in their living room. But when I came in, I did it. It's the way it was done in America. I did a door-to-door campaign. Every person had to get involved. I went door to door, word to word, village to village. House to house campaign. I went with my flyers, handbills, and gave it to every man, every woman, every voting adult in the local government. That's what I did. Every day I was out the whole day campaigning. But in the old time, they never did this, and people were surprised that you are contesting. Why are you going around asking for a vote? So I won the hearts and soul of people, and they all came out en masse on that election day to vote for me.
So Honorable Jude Ise Idehe was sworn in as the member representing Igboba Oha constituency in May 2007. He was indeed one of the 8 members of the opposition out of the 24 members of the House of Assembly at that time.
Well, yeah, when the ruling party is kind of easier because then you had to, fight for it when you're in the minority. But now it's kind of a lot easier than when we're in the minority. But other than that, I think everything is still going well. It's the governor have a listening ear to us, because we are in his party, so we have we get a lot more things done than when we're in the minority.
His contributions on the floor of the House has been immense, and he has been responsible for several notable bills.
Oh well, I can say one of the first bills that I really put through that I feel was a landmark was that before, when I came into Nigeria, I found out that a lot of people, like people victims of crime, were not treated in hospital until they get a report from the police, and that a lot of people died in the process. You can't expect somebody that's been shot in the process of being robbed, or in a process of a criminal act being performed against them, to go to the police station to get a report that I was shot by a criminal before you get treated. So, that was one of the first bills that I moved in the House, and I believe that has saved a lot of life, because now doctors treat people and later call the police to get confirmation of if this person was a criminal or if he was the victim. I think that was one of my major landmark bills in the House so far.
As the chairman of several House committees, his performance of his oversight functions has left no one in doubt of his passion for service to the people of Ikpoba-Oha constituency in particular, and Edo State in general.
Well, the House of Assembly has done very well, because the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, as amended 1999, has given the House of Assembly oversight function over the executive arm of government. And with different committees, we have done very well and made sure that the executive has utilized the money that was appropriated for different ministries. So I believe the House of Assembly has done very well in that aspect.
Honorable Jude is a two-time member of the Edo State House of Assembly. So obviously it means he's been around for about 6 years now, and therefore his contributions have been a lot. In his first term, in the first 4 years in the House, he was chairman of the House Standing Committee on Ethics and Privileges. He was also chairman House Standing Committee on Public Petitions and Labor Matters. And I do recall that he did organize a workshop calling stakeholders together. He was also at the later part he was also the chairman House Standing Committee on Works. And of course, we all know that House Standing Committee on Works is the committee that oversees the activities of the Ministry of Works. And the Ministry of Works is burdened with a lot of work right now, especially as we have a comrade governor that is trying to change the state. There's a lot of work going on, and Honorable Jude was the one oversighting this ministry, and he really did a very good job. He went around to make sure that all the works that were done to specification. I recall that I followed him once, to, I think it was Oriom local government, where we went to inspect some roads that were being done, and we found that the drainages were not being done properly to specification, and he brought it up and made sure that the contractors followed the precise specification they ought to have followed. In this second tenure, he was House Standing Committee Chairman on Works too. He continued the good job, and presently is House Standing Committee Chairman on Public Petitions and Labor Matters, where I know again he's attempting he's putting together another workshop seminar, to bring together stakeholders in the oil industry, so that because there are a lot of complaints. We always have a lot of complaints from people in oil producing areas, so he's trying to bring them together, settle all the issues that they may have. So you can see he's very, very forwardcoming. He's done a lot of work. On the floor of the House, he's been a member that has been supportive of most of the bills that we have moved and passed. He has been supportive of all of them. He's articulate when he presents his position on the floor. So Honorable Jude said, yes, for the about 6.5 years or thereabouts that he's been in the House of Assembly, has done quite well.
When Honorable Jude said, our colleague representing Ikpoba-Oha State Constituency in the State Assembly, is a man we feel is an important person in this assembly because as a ranking member of the House, we feel that he has contributed a lot in making those of us who are new to have the relaxed mind to believe that we're all partners in progress. He's a very friendly person, very amiable, and a man who has really cut his teeth in the onerous task of legislative matters. So by and large, Jude is somebody we always know that he has opinion on every issue. He's a very taciturn person. He's not a talkative. He's an introvert. But when he has the chance to speak, he does not look back. Jude is somebody who is not ready to lick the boot of another person. He says it the way it is. A very bold person. And he feels whatever he's doing is right. And above all, he's a grassroots person. Because in his quarters, in his house, you see him always with the people. Young and old, men and women. And by and large, his contribution so far in this great fifth assembly of the Edo South Assembly, he has contributed immensely towards most of the resolutions and bills we have passed so far.
We were one of the lucky 8 that won seats under the Action Congress of Nigeria to the House of Assembly. Fortunately, six of us, including the President Speaker from Edo South. And for the past 6 years, we've been working together and we had a very cordial relationship. You know, something about Jude, which you can always talk to the bank, Jude will tell you his mind. You know what I mean? Jude is very, at times I say it's too, at times I say it's too frank to a fault. You know, you know, he says it the way it is, and he does not know how to embellish it. You know, and but he's a nice guy. You know, he's a hardworking guy. You know, and I enjoy his working relationship, and he has been able to impact on the people of his constituency. You know, he represents a very big constituency, Pubaha. Like I tease him all the time. I said, we are their fathers because they broke away from Oredo. Pubaha, they go, we are the children of Oredo. So I think he's a nice guy and he's done very well. And the people of the constituency are very pleased with him. And I'm sure whatever he wishes for himself in future, the people will support him.
Jude?
Yes, sir.
You see him, he's a well-fed gentleman. If I give you an impression of him without telling you he's well-fed. Anyway, we thank God. As usual, well, you know, it takes quite some time because I'm a first timer. To take you some time for you to acclimatize yourself with your older colleague, and of course he is one of the warm ones which who I think in our early days of coming really gave us a very relaxed atmosphere from his openness in his interactive approach. You know, it's always fun of jokes, you know, we're always laughing and things like that. So to a very large extent, he's a likable and a very warm personality that you can easily, you know, feel at home with when it comes to issue of you being welcome to an environment, as it was for me as a newcomer into the place. You know, then as per the performance of his legislative duties, well, we are all legislators, and you must accept the fact that I think it's even public knowledge, because it was among the few outspoken one who actually stated without fear of favor the position of his constituency as far as the issue of the property tax, you know, was concerned. For a man who is ready at any time to say that this is the position of my people, I stand by it, you cannot say he's doing badly, because that is what he was voted for. You know, so to me, when the interest of his constituency is at stake, I think usually he goes a long way in ensuring that he represents his constituency to the best of his ability.
Many people have misconstrued his strong position on issues on the floor of the House and those concerning the state for his being very controversial.
Controversial in what sense? When people say controversial, they should understand the meaning of controversial. When you are controversial, you cause problems or you are against everybody. But I don't believe that's my way. When people see me as controversial, it's because I tell them the truth. A lot of people don't want to hear the truth. In politics, people believe politics, you must lie. They believe politics is all about lying. I'm from a very different background where I believe you must tell the truth at all times. And when I tell them the truth, people don't want to hear the truth. They say this guy is controversial. I'm not controversial. I try to do things in such a way that my views are heard. My views is different. It does not mean I'm controversial. If my view is different from yours, that does not make me controversial. I just have a different view, different opinion on things. People believe this is how we have been doing it. You've been doing it this way and you're not getting results. Let's try something else. Does that make me controversial? You know, that's the way I look at it. When people do things, it's like you are trying to change something, and to me, I believe those people that say I'm controversial, they don't really know what they're talking about, because there's nothing controversial about what I do.
Ikpoba Oha constituency is one of the largest constituencies in Edo State and indeed the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Satisfying the yearnings of such a constituency is by no means an easy task. However, Honorable Jude Ise-Idehe has been able to deliver adequately the dividends of democracy to his people.
Was on ground security, for example. Ologbo was one of my wards in my constituency, and we had, like, you know, it's always a very volatile area because it's the boundary between Edo and Delta. I renovated the police station there. I, brought it up to standard and, made it very more comfortable for the policemen, and I believe that's one thing I think the policemen were very happy for, and I got a very good letter from the Commissioner of Police about that.
Well, before we even came to power, the station was they built before, but everything was dilapidated. So we have to, engineer has to come and do the repair, refurbish the whole thing, repair the whole thing. That's why you see as beautiful as it is today. So they have done a very good thing here. In fact, apart from this very well, he has even got a more for us to do here in the station. So in fact, he has done very well.
In this period, I believe I did street light in one of these villages in Ward 9. Yeah, we did a street light in a Womama village. Yeah, it lit up the area too. We did that for them because that's what they requested in that village at that time, and I believe I did that for them. Yes.
In fact, I'm very happy to see today as one of the remarkable day in the life history of this community. You see, it's one of the giant strides by the honorable.
On electricity, I provided over maybe close to 10 or more transformers in my constituency. Ward 1, a workman, I've given one to the army barrack. Ward 2, which is my ward where I come from, Oregbeni, I've given one to Ogiso. I've given one to Oregbeni, one in Oregbeni by the market. I've given another one to also in Oregbeni there by Eweka Street, and there's another one ongoing right now on Jemila Road. They call it Ide Headquarters. Then other wards are there, like Ward 5 in Ogemeken area. I installed a transformer for them, and there was one the NDDC dropped that they never installed. I did that for them. Then Ward 6, there's one ongoing right now in Ward 6 also. That's near Power Line area there. There's a transformer that I'm installing right now as we speak. That's this year's constituency project for me.
Even there was a time when I complained to him that our light is bad and we have no pole. He brought us pole. He went and he came and then did the light, and we were enjoying the light ever since.
Obima, you did there. Ni Maria, yeah, Maya votina, no ya la aso zabe. Ona ka abog when see, no ya mujiji might be. no ya la ofu egbe wa agbi manihu ora agbi mane ora agbi pia ipia wi ho ima happy you me no nyi dama ibi ma ye e kado eti bedele na yosie dunde elite no mu ye akugbe elite no mu yoni ona ya show my light.
I would say that in fact the entire community we are really grateful because Honorable Jude Idehen, who is representing Ikbobaka in Edo State House of Assembly, he has actually done us proud by bringing this transformer to our community. In fact, it's over 4 or 5 years we've been fighting for this thing. In fact, there are very many people that complained about the inability of very many things to take place in this school. For example, there are so many aged people who have to depend on prescription drugs to stay alive. Now, when they put such prescription drugs in the refrigerator and there is no light to continue to maintain those things, there are problems. There are often times when students are preparing for examinations, this area we are always inside darkness. You find that people they start looking for candlelight or whatever lantern to read, which could equally affect their sight. Thirdly, there are so many artisans, workmen, tailors, welders, and so many other people who depend solely on electricity. And oftentimes we have cried to PACN to assist us. It has not been possible. So we're so happy to discover that he has just brought this thing to this place. So we are very grateful to him, and for somebody who has done that type of something in this type of community, I can assure you that there's nobody in this community who will not support him tomorrow.
Education, I've done very well. I've renovated, like in Ward 2, I renovated classroom blocks for them there in Origben Primary School, and this year also I'm trying to renovate the 6th classroom block for them there. Ward 3, Ogbeson Primary School, I provided tables and chairs for the students. In Ward 4, I built a 3 classroom block with the headmaster office and the storeroom for them in Omodu. Ward 6, I built a 3 classroom block for them in Wood Area Primary School. In Ward 5, I built a secondary school for them there in Umedu Secondary School. In Ward 7, I provided tables and chairs for them, one of the schools there. And in Ward 8, there's an ongoing project right now, renovation of a primary school also going on right there as we speak. I believe I've touched almost all the wards also in education.
Jude said then, it was even the person who will assist us to even put this very building here, to enable our children to have a comfortable building where they will be learning. The impact in this building, at least, is a part of a good development in the community. We are very, very happy about the building. You can see the building now. It's only the best building among of other buildings.
Well, in my first or second year, I think all the wards, Ward 1 to 10, I provided borehole for each community. And so far, I've given over 25 boreholes to the various communities across the board, the 10 wards in my community. You can go, all the boreholes are still very functional. A lot of, I've done very well there too, from Ward 1 to 10. I don't want to start naming them one by one, but I've done well.
I'm very happy that Honorable Jude what he did for us. The Enoge and the pre-chief, they are very happy. All my community are happy. All my member AC, they are very happy. We still need more from him. Yes. We still need more from him.
The representative, Honorable Jude, gave the community borehole, and the borehole has been running, and he has improved the community and the people coming here. If you have come early today, you have seen people fetching water here, and it has been a blessing to Ward 1. If you look at around, you see water, look at the floor. They came to fetch the water this morning.
You don't try small because now this boy put for here, more the fish free. And you see, try well because through this water, many people will not still get money to take buy water. They see for me, I call the fish.
I've given small scale loan to the women to start some small businesses, and the youth also. I empower them. I gave them, a few years back, I gave them this call center to start their business, call center, phone business. I gave them the telephone and recharge card and all that stuff with the chair, table and all that to, facilitate them setting up their own small businesses like that. The women and the market women have empowered them in some small funds here and there to empower the women to also start their own small businesses.
The people of Ikpoba Oka constituency have also benefited immensely from Iyobosa Helping Hand, a Czech Republic-based NGO run by his spouse, Mrs. Gabina Ise Idehe.
That's my wife's passion. In Europe and America, orphanages and all these young people are taken care of by NGOs. But in Nigeria, in our own setting in Africa, we don't take these people serious. We just look at them as riffraffs, or I don't know. We don't take them serious. But my wife has taken it as a lifelong passion that she wants to help these people. She goes back home once or twice a year to try and raise money to buy, clothes, books for some of these kids, for these homeless, for these people in the orphanages. This has been her lifelong passion, and I've encouraged her because it's also one of the passions, something very close to my heart, that I really, just because they are orphans does not mean they should be destitute on the street. We should all come together and support this kind of people. Like my wife always says, one bottle of Hennessy can take care of a child through school, to pay the school uniform and accessories that he or she needs in school. That's just 4,000 naira, and some of our people drink that in one night. So she keeps telling me that this is all one child needs for a whole year, and to me that's nothing. That's nothing if our people can key into this kind of thing. She's passionate about it. I'm passionate about it. We go outside the country, to try and raise funds for these things and try and impact on these people, because these youths can be something tomorrow. We don't know what their destiny holds. We must help these people to grow.
Like the thing when you do for us. So waiting our hand not you do. He can't do it for us. Now God, now he go bless us. We not get waiting, we go take bless and when go reach everlasting, then God will go. Now God will bless and bless his husband, bless his children.
I thank you as you take help me. So as you help me, so I thank you. So may God be with you. So no other thing when I will say.
Yes, it's an NGO based in the Czech Republic. So I need to thank my supporters from my country who made this possible by financial donations. This is not our only project. We do other projects. We provide chairs for schools. We empower widows from my local government and other projects.
Interreligious harmony has been greatly promoted in the Ikpoba Oka constituency by Honorable Jude Ise Idehe.
Yes, he has done well. Like there's borehole, like transformer, lights and everything, schools, even the road, and unite everybody here and bring us together to, like Muslim and Christian, like everybody is one, brothers and sisters. Yeah.
And Honorable Jude is a man we have seen. I think all this while, we have not really felt the impact of representative in this part. But I think he has done wonderfully well. Because I remember during last fasting, we got a lot of beverages, a lot of things to breakfast, and that was an impression. And even recently too, for the first time, we had a ram and a bag of rice for the Ummah, which we have never experienced before. I think he really gives us the impact that he's a man that has the love of people. He does not discriminate between religion. In fact, he's a man that we believe that is good for the people.
He's the thrice honorable for this. It does say well we know for this our size or for this our cattle market. I know the man is the try for we people, because if they look we form away, nobody say anything. he carry us anything. He carry people like people. He carry human being like human being. And not be say after him don't be person he go hate people. No, he never hate people. That's why we people they pray for him. It's not a matter of governor or Benin. Even though he will be president, their character and their nature and their team be ready to be so. But at the prayer law, make it continue to him, make it reach where they put to mind to reach.
The comrade governor, Comrade Adams Oshomole, has also been very responsive to the demands and yearnings of the people of Igboba Oha constituency under the representation of Honorable Jude Ise-Idehe.
You know, executive, we flow, we are good, we are very close. You know, the executive governor has been very kind to my community. He has done so much for us, but you know, as Oliver Twist, we always ask for more. You know, the governor has been magnanimous in this year budget. For example, last year, let me start with last year, he's done a lot like street light from Ikpoba Hill all the way to Auchi Road. He has also done the street lighting for Upper Sapomba all the way down, you know, and it has lit up the whole area. You know, crime has reduced with the help of this light, street lights now, and the nightlife has returned, which is very good for my community. And right now in the budget, he's going to do one of a very big road for us, a 100-feet road. That's the name of the road. It's a dual carriageway. That's why they call it a 100-feet road. It's 100 feet wide, so they call it 100-feet road. And it starts from Ikpoba Hill all the way to Saple Road. If that road is done, it will open up all these areas also, you know. And I believe the governor has already started working on it. The plan is out, they've done the survey and all that, and it will be a step in the right direction. I won't say I'll be okay, I'll be pleased, because there are many more roads that will add to that, like Aduawa. There are some roads in Aduawa that if you can link up to Ikpoba Hill, it will help decongest the traffic. This 100-feet road will decongest the traffic on 3rd Junction. If the governor can also do the Owe Road, that will also help our people a lot over there in Ward 3, near the Auchi Park, you know. And there are some other roads that, like in Ologbo, there's that road that links the Ologbo township to the Riverine area. If that one can be done too, my people will be very happy in this period. But you know, as I said, Edo State is not such a rich state like Delta or Bayelsa or River State. We don't have that kind of resources that those people have. But I believe the governor can squeeze in Ikpoba. He has done so well in other local government. And if he can, you know, do one or two of these roads for us, we'll be very happy with him and we'll appreciate it a lot.
In trying to meet up with the demands of public life, the family suffers. But Honorable Jude Ise-Idehe still finds time to unwind with his family.
Well, we are public servants, and you know, we just have to find time for our family, because family is very important. Family comes first. Because if not for my family, I won't be doing all this, you know. My family is a priority to me. Because without my family, I don't think I'll be involved in any of this. So I always try to find time as much as possible. After work, you know, spend time with my kids, spend time with my wife. You know, then on holidays, try to go out of town so we can have, you know, a few days or a few weeks together to spend, you know, quality time with my kids and my wife.
The people are asking for more, even with the much that they are getting compared to before.
I've done a lot of constituency projects since I've been there. I've brought in this executive. The governor has also, you know, done a lot for our community. You know, as a legislator, we don't have access to funds. It's what we can lobby for, what we can, you know, bring into the our community, how much we can relate with the government, relate with the executive. That's how you know if you are successful or not. And I believe I've been very, you know, been able to do that with the executive governor, and they've been able to do a lot for my community.
From Action Congress to Action Congress of Nigeria, and Action Congress of Nigeria to the All Progressive Congress. What does this portend for Edo State.
I believe it's a merger of these three political parties is coming at the right time, and it's going to help the country as a whole, and Edo State in particular, because these three parties that have come together will be stronger, better prepared to face the opposition party in Edo State, because PDP is the opposition party in Edo State, although in National is the ruling party, but in Edo State is the opposition, and we are ready to, face them head on. And APC will be a party to beat. It's going to be the party that everybody wants to join, because we believe in giving dividends of democracy to our people. We believe the people come first. We are not about our own self-individual. It's about the people that voted us in. Those are the people we are working for. And APC is going to give those people what they want.
With the formation of the mega party APC and the resultant adjustments in the political equation of Edo State, the big question on the lips of the people of Igbobaoha constituency on the political career of Honorable Jude Ise Idehe is what's next?
What next?